Hey, this is Brett. I'm here with Caitlin Waters, and we just finished up a House of Genius Phoenix event, and I found it very enlightening and a lot of fun to be a part of. We at brettapproved.com are going to start really talking more about the entrepreneur scene. In case any of you out there want to start your own businesses or have a good idea, the question I often get via email is, where do we start? So obviously we're focused on accessibility, but to be a part of the larger startup community is extremely important. So with that, Caitlin, thank you so much for your time. Talk a little bit about House of Genius Phoenix and how it all got started.
Awesome. So House of Genius is a global organization, a nonprofit. It's found in over 30 cities around the world, and with its main focus, just provide accessibility and support for entrepreneurs, business owners who are struggling to accomplish something in their business, in ways that they can connect with their community members, in ways that they wouldn't have done on their own. So Phoenix's chapter was founded in April 2014, and since then it's all been about supporting Phoenix entrepreneurs, small business owners that wouldn't necessarily know the resources or the questions or things needed to get done to accomplish what their goals are.
So what's interesting to me, and I've lived in Phoenix since 1999, so I've seen a tremendous amount of growth. But what's interesting to me is that Phoenix itself is the largest, fifth largest city in America, but it's a very kind of tight-knit entrepreneurial network. Just talk to me about the entrepreneurial scene within Phoenix and kind of how it's grown since you've been in town.
Awesome. So I moved out here from New York for a social media internship at a tech startup. That was in the summer of 2013, and it was my first experience as a real job, pretty much, and in a startup environment. And it was the best 2.5 years of my life. I was thrown into so many different areas of study because perks of working at a startup is kind of being a jack of all trades. You get to do a lot of things. And part of that, I got to be so involved with the startup community because I was in charge of outreach and social media and PR for the company I was working at. So it forced me to kind of get out of my comfort zone and participate in networking events, meet leaders and sponsorship of events. And then through that, I just met people and it grew. And it became really closely involved with the SPHX, which is pretty much our umbrella of what we like to call our startup community out here. And it just aims to bring everybody together and have support and promote growth and resources and just bring everyone in this startup environment together and let them know that there's other people going through the same thing and there's resources available for you to be able to help. And I just fell in love with how generous our community was, and I just knew I needed to stay.
Absolutely. I mean, that's something that you just brought up, is how generous everybody is. Yeah. And because we're so tight-knit, whether you've started in a business incubator like I did at Seed Spot, or whether you're a part of House of Genius Phoenix, I mean, there's so many resources, and that's what we at Brett Approved want to do a better job of availing our community up. So somebody watches this video and they have an idea for a business, and maybe they live in Mesa, or maybe they live in Gilbert or wherever, or Phoenix. What would you say to encourage them to just kind of take that leap and reach out and avail themselves to some of these resources that we've been talking about?
So I may be a little bit biased, but I would definitely encourage checking out the hashtag YesPHX. It is just a major source of news, updates, leaders, cohorts, everything just sharing news on Twitter, and they provide links and just knowledge that you will never believe. The website YesPHX.com provides links to all of the resources you would need for this. Leaders to reach out to, organizations to be involved at, in co-working spaces. You can go and actually work on what you are hoping to build one day, and just being involved in that kind of stuff. And just, I would say the first thing is just actually putting the effort and just do that outreach. Go to that website, look at the Twitter feed, find out or look at some things that you like that people are talking about, and just send them a message.
Just jump in.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Jump right in.
And lastly, obviously, Brett Approved, as I shared, is a travel and entertainment website for people with disabilities or mobility challenges that focuses on accessibility. But something that is very, very important to me is inclusion. And obviously, you're a woman in tech, and that is not oftentimes an easy place to be, and certainly being in a chair, I speak all over the world. I'm very blessed to be able to do that, but all too often I'm the only person in a chair, only person with a physical disability. Talk to me about, in your view, kind of just you as somebody who's in love with the startup scene here in Phoenix. Talk to me about why diversity and inclusion are so important.
So I love that question of inclusion, not only as a woman, but for someone who, as a full-time job, I work in corporate. So a lot of people are like, what ties do you have to the startup community? One of the things I like to invoke and really stress the importance of is just because you don't own a startup, you haven't owned a startup, or you're not directly involved with a startup does not mean you cannot get involved with the startup community. Every business that's around started from somewhere and faced the same problems that these startups, unquote, unquote, are going through. And everyone provides different forms of advice, mentorship, resources in different ways, in different forms. And I think for people to get out of their mind that in order to be involved with the startup ecosystem, you have to be a part of the startup, they need to get rid of that, because that's how you're going to be stuck into these walls and this separation. That's another thing why I love about House of Genius is our panel consists of everyone from students to investors, entrepreneurs, lawyers, marketers. So it's a wide range of folks that would never normally be in the same room together, and they are forced to be in there, and now they know, like, I need to start branching out of what I'm doing. Get out of these silos.
I mean, just to put a bow on our talk together today, I really like the format. I really like the anonymity that's associated with it, because you get to know somebody's ideas and hear their feedback without knowing the lens through which they're giving it, and I think that's very, very important. So again, I want to thank you so much for allowing me and Matthew to be a part of this.
Oh, of course.
And again, as always, this is Brett coming at you from a House of Genius event here in Central Phoenix. As ever, keep rolling.